This video did not exist in your timeline until you directed your attention toward it. It was merely a wave of probability floating in the infinite ether, waiting for a conscious mind to collapse it into physical form. You clicked on this title because something deep within your soul recognized a truth it has been waiting to hear. Today, we are going to explore the profound mystery of the quantum observer effect and why that heavy, ancient feeling you carry inside is the ultimate proof of your true nature. I promise you, by the time this video ends, the veil will be lifted. You will no longer see yourself as a victim of random circumstances, but you will fully understand your true power as the sovereign creator of your reality. Tell me, have you ever looked around at the frantic pace of the modern world and felt a deep, unexplainable exhaustion, as if you have lived through all of this 1,000 times before? To understand why you feel so profoundly ancient, we must first look at the invisible fabric that connects everything in existence. We call this the quantum field. In esoteric terms, the quantum field is not just a scientific concept of subatomic particles. It is the infinite ocean of pure potential, the mind of the universe itself. Everything that could ever happen exists right now in this field as a wave of probability. But these waves remain in a state of limbo, completely formless, until one vital ingredient is introduced. That ingredient is observation. But observation is not what you think it is. It is not just passively looking at things with your physical eyes. In the esoteric quantum framework, observation is a highly active magnetic process. It is the act of your consciousness focusing its divine light onto the canvas of the void. Your attention literally freezes the fluid, endless possibilities of the quantum realm into the solid, three-dimensional reality you walk through every single day. Have you ever wondered why you feel so profoundly different from everyone else around you? It is as if you are carrying an invisible weight, a deep and quiet knowing that sets you apart from the trivial dramas of everyday life. This feeling of being an old soul is not a psychological quirk, and it is certainly not a flaw. It is a direct signal from your consciousness, indicating its true, ancient nature. You see, the modern world wants you to believe that you are simply your physical body, born a few decades ago, destined to live a linear life. But the weariness you feel, that deep internal sigh when you look at the world, is the exhaustion of an ancient observer trapped in a limited paradigm. Your consciousness has traversed the infinite expanse of the quantum field long before this current physical avatar was ever conceived. When you feel old inside, it is actually the vastness of your eternal awareness bumping up against the rigid, narrow illusions of the three-dimensional matrix. You are remembering the boundless freedom of the wave state, the infinite potential of the unmanifested universe. This profound sense of age is your ultimate power, a reminder that you are not a beginner in this universe. You are an ancient architect of reality, temporarily walking through a world that has forgotten how to shape the field. Recognize this feeling not as a burden, but as your most profound spiritual asset. But what exactly is this ancient observer within you? It is crucial to understand that the observer is not the mind that chatters incessantly about your daily tasks. It is not the ego that worries about how you are perceived by others. The true observer is the silent, expansive presence that sits behind your thoughts, watching them come and go. When quantum physicists talk about consciousness collapsing the wave function, they are unknowingly pointing to this divine spark within you. Your ancient observer is the lens through which the universe experiences itself. Because this part of you exists outside the artificial construct of linear time, it perceives reality entirely differently. It does not panic about the future or obsess over the past, because it knows that only the eternal present moment truly exists. This is why, deep inside, you often feel a profound sense of detachment from the chaotic rush of society. While everyone else is running on the hamster wheel of survival, Your ancient observer is simply watching, aware that this physical life is but a fleeting projection. Cultivating a relationship with this silent watcher is the first step to mastering your reality. When you align your daily awareness with this ancient presence, the trivial anxieties of human life dissolve, leaving only pure, unadulterated power. Let us talk about the illusion of linear time and why it makes your soul feel so intensely weary. In our physical dimension, we are conditioned to believe that time flows strictly from the past, through the present, and into the future. But your ancient consciousness knows this is a localized illusion, a set of training wheels for young souls. In the higher dimensions of the quantum field, all moments exist simultaneously. Every lifetime you have ever lived, every choice you could ever make, and every reality you could ever inhabit is happening right now in the eternal present. The reason you feel so old inside is that your consciousness is bleeding through the boundaries of linear time. You are subconsciously carrying the weight, the wisdom, and the energetic residue of countless timelines. You look at the struggles of humanity, and you feel as though you have already seen this movie play out 1,000,000 times. This temporal bleed-through is a gift, though it often feels like a curse in a society obsessed with speed. It grants you the ability to zoom out and see the grand tapestry of existence, rather than getting lost in a single thread. By recognizing that your soul operates outside of time, you can begin to draw wisdom from the infinite field, using your ancient perspective to manifest a reality that aligns with your highest evolution, rather than repeating the same karmic loops. This brings us to the phenomenon of déjà vu, a common experience for the ancient observer. Have you ever walked into a room or had a conversation and felt a sudden, electrifying certainty that you have experienced this exact moment before? Science tries to explain this away as a neurological glitch, a misfiring of the brain. But from the perspective of quantum metaphysics, déjà vu is a profound feedback loop from the field. It is a moment of pure synchronization. You are not predicting the future in these moments. Rather, your ancient consciousness is recognizing a timeline that it has already previewed and collapsed in the higher realms. When you experience déjà vu, the veil between your physical mind and your infinite soul momentarily thins. Your ancient observer is sending you a direct message, confirming that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. It is a cosmic nod, acknowledging that your current physical coordinates have perfectly aligned with the energetic blueprint you laid out before you entered this life. Instead of brushing these moments off as strange coincidences, lean into them. Pause, take a deep breath, and acknowledge the presence of your eternal self. These flashes of recognition are the breadcrumbs leading you back to your true power as the master weaver of your destiny. It is here that we must confront a radical truth about the nature of observation. Most people wander through life believing they are merely passengers on a ship they cannot steer. They think observation is a passive act, like watching a movie on a screen. But your ancient consciousness knows the staggering truth. Observation is the most active, dynamic, and creative force in the universe. You are not watching the Matrix. You are actively rendering it in real time through the focus of your awareness. The physical world around you is nothing more than a mirror, reflecting the energetic state of your internal observer. If your observation is clouded by fear, lack, and anxiety, the quantum field will dutifully collapse waves of probability that match those low frequencies, manifesting a reality of struggle. But when you shift your internal observation, when you anchor yourself in the profound wisdom and peace of your ancient soul, the outer world must reorganize itself to match. This is the ultimate secret of reality creation. You do not force the world to change. You simply change the way the ancient observer perceives it. When you look at the world through the eyes of abundance, love, and infinite possibility, the field has no choice but to materialize those exact frequencies into your physical experience. Understanding how your thoughts collapse reality is the key to mastering your earthly experience. But we must distinguish between the fleeting, surface-level thoughts of the ego and the deep, resonant knowing of the ancient observer. You have thousands of random, chaotic thoughts every single day. If every single one of these thoughts manifested instantly, the world would be an unlivable nightmare of shifting forms. The quantum field is infinitely intelligent. It does not respond to the erratic chatter of the monkey mind. It responds to the deep, sustained focus of your true consciousness. When you hold a clear intention, and you back it with the unshakable certainty of your ancient soul, you send a laser-like beam of energy into the quantum soup. You isolate a specific wave of probability and force it to collapse into a particle, into physical matter, into an event in your life. This is why positive thinking alone often fails. You cannot simply repeat empty affirmations while your deep subconscious observer is vibrating with doubt. To truly command the field, your thoughts must be aligned with the profound stillness and unwavering belief of your ancient self. When your surface mind and your deep observer speak the same language, your ability to collapse the reality you desire becomes absolute and instantaneous. However, thought alone is only half of the equation. If thought is the steering wheel that directs the quantum field, emotion is the engine that drives the manifestation into physical density. Your ancient consciousness understands that emotion is not just a biological reaction. It is a powerful electromagnetic signature. In the language of the universe, thoughts send the signal out, but emotions draw the event back to you. The reason so many people struggle to change their reality is that they try to observe a new future while carrying the emotional baggage of the past. If you want to manifest abundance, but your heart is gripped by the fear of poverty, the field receives a mixed signal and delivers a chaotic result. Your ancient observer knows how to generate the emotion of the desired outcome before the event has even occurred in the physical realm. This is the ultimate act of quantum hacking. By feeling the joy, the gratitude, and the profound peace of your fulfilled desire right now, in the present moment, you collapse the timeline with incredible speed. You become a magnetic vortex, pulling the unmanifested wave of probability directly into your physical space. Master your emotional state, and you master the very fabric of reality. As you begin to align your thoughts and emotions with your ancient observer, you will notice a fascinating phenomenon occurring in your daily life. This phenomenon is synchronicity. Coined by the brilliant Carl Jung, synchronicity is the occurrence of meaningful coincidences that seem to defy the laws of probability. You think of an old friend, and they call you 5 minutes later. You ask the universe for a sign, and a specific animal or sequence of numbers appears everywhere you look. To the sleeping masses, these are just random events. But to your ancient consciousness, synchronicity is the direct feedback mechanism of the quantum field. It is the universe winking at you, confirming that your internal shifts are successfully altering the external hologram. Synchronicity is proof that your observation is actively collapsing probabilities in your favor. When these magical moments occur, do not dismiss them. Acknowledge them with deep gratitude. By celebrating synchronicity, you strengthen your energetic connection to the field, signaling to the universe that you are awake, aware, and ready to receive even greater manifestations. You are stepping out of the illusion of separation and realizing that you and the universe are engaged in a beautiful, continuous dance of creation. Yet, walking this path as an awakened creator often brings a profound sense of fatigue. This is the hallmark of the ancient soul. You may find yourself feeling intensely tired, not necessarily in a physical sense, but in a spiritual one. You look at the societal structures, the obsession with status, the endless pursuit of material accumulation, and you simply cannot force yourself to care. This spiritual fatigue arises because your observer sees right through the illusion. It knows that the pursuit of external validation is a hollow game designed to keep consciousness trapped in the lower frequencies. Your ancient self remembers the boundless bliss of the absolute, and playing small in the dense energies of the third dimension feels incredibly restrictive. But it is vital to remember that you chose to be here. You chose to lower your frequency and enter this physical avatar because your unique energetic signature is needed to help shift the collective consciousness of the planet. Your fatigue is actually a sign of your immense power. It is the friction of a massive star trying to fit into a tiny box. Instead of letting this weariness drag you into depression, use it to detach from the drama. Let your lack of interest in the matrix be the very thing that frees you to create a reality of your own design. To truly harness the power of your ancient consciousness, you must become comfortable with the concept of the void. In our modern society, we are conditioned to fill every waking second with noise, distraction, and action. We are terrified of silence. But your ancient observer does not live in the noise. It resides in the infinite silence of the void. The void is the space between your thoughts. It is the pause between your breaths. It is the realm of pure, unmanifested potential from which all reality springs forth. When you sit in meditation and allow the chatter of your mind to settle, you slip into this sacred space. You detach from your identity, your history, and your physical body, becoming nothing more than a point of pure awareness floating in the quantum sea. It is in this void that your ability to collapse reality is at its absolute peak. Because you are no longer entangled with the limitations of the physical world, you can plant the seeds of your desires directly into the fertile soil of the universe. By spending time in the void every single day, you recharge your ancient soul. You wash away the dense frequencies of the matrix and emerge with crystal clear intention, ready to command the field with effortless grace and supreme authority. Now is the time for reclaiming your power. For too long, you have been playing the role of the victim, believing that reality is something that happens to you. You have allowed the external world to dictate your internal state, letting the news, other people, and societal expectations program your quantum output. But the moment you recognize your true identity as the ancient observer, the game completely changes. You realize that the external world has no power over you whatsoever. It is merely a projection screen. If you do not like the movie that is playing, you do not yell at the screen. You change the film in the projector, and that projector is your consciousness. Reclaiming your power means taking absolute, unwavering responsibility for everything in your life. The beautiful things and the painful things were all drawn to you by the magnetic pull of your observation. This realization can be daunting at first, but it is ultimately the most liberating truth you will ever encounter. Because if you created your current reality unconsciously, just imagine the magnificent, breathtaking life you can build now that you are awake. You are the architect. The universe is waiting for your command. Step out of the passenger seat and take the wheel of your destiny. Consider deeply the concept of reality as a mirror. When you look into a physical mirror, you know that the reflection cannot smile until you smile first. It is entirely dependent on your action. The quantum field operates on the exact same principle, but with a slight delay. The reality you are experiencing right now is the delayed reflection of your past thoughts, emotions, and observations. If you look at your current life and see lack, conflict, or struggle, you are simply looking at the echo of your old state of being. The fatal mistake most people make is reacting emotionally to this delayed reflection. When they see lack, they feel fear, which then programs the quantum field to create more lack tomorrow. It is a continuous loop of suffering. Your ancient observer knows how to break this loop. It knows that to change the reflection, you must hold the state of abundance and peace inside, regardless of what the external illusion is currently showing you. You must smile first. When you hold your high frequency with iron discipline, refusing to be triggered by the fading echoes of your past creations, the mirror of reality has no choice but to warp and bend to reflect your new, radiant state of consciousness. Have you ever experienced a sudden flash of profound insight, a moment where a complex problem resolves itself instantly, or a brilliant creative idea drops into your mind out of nowhere? We often call these moments downloads. They are not the result of logical, step-by-step thinking. They are direct transmissions from the infinite quantum field, accessed by your ancient observer. Because your true consciousness exists outside the bounds of space and time, it has access to the Akashic records, the energetic database of all knowledge, past, present, and future. When you quiet your mind and tune your frequency to the vibration of receptivity, you open a channel to this boundless wisdom. You bypass the slow, clunky processing of the physical brain and tap directly into the mind of God. These downloads are vital coordinates for your journey. They provide the shortcuts, the innovations, and the divine guidance necessary to collapse your desired reality with minimum effort. To invite more of these sudden insights into your life, you must cultivate a state of relaxed awareness. Stop trying to force solutions with your young, stressed ego. Step back into the expansive stillness of your ancient soul. Ask the field for the answer, and simply wait for the profound knowing to arrive. The greatest obstacle to mastering your reality is the relentless grip of the ego. The ego is the artificial construct of your current identity. It is your name, your job, your fears, and your worldly desires. The ego is incredibly young, born only when your physical body was born, and it is terrified of its own mortality. Because it operates from a place of fear and separation, the ego constantly tries to control everything, effectively strangling your quantum power. Your ancient observer, on the other hand, is eternal. It knows nothing of fear because it knows it can never truly be harmed or destroyed. Shifting the center of your identity from the frantic ego to the calm, ancient observer is the monumental task of spiritual awakening. It requires letting go of the need to be right, the need to be validated, and the need to micromanage the universe. When you surrender the illusions of the ego, you step into a state of immense power. You stop fighting the current of life and begin to ride the massive waves of the quantum field. You observe the antics of your own ego with a gentle, loving amusement, no longer allowing it to dictate the frequency of your reality. Let us decode the law of attraction through the uncompromising lens of the observer effect. The mainstream spiritual community often teaches that you must intensely desire something to manifest it. They tell you to want it so badly that the universe must deliver it. But your ancient consciousness knows this is a fundamental trap. The state of wanting is a declaration of lack. When you want something, your energetic vibration is screaming to the quantum field, "I do not have this." And the faithful field perfectly collapses a reality where you continue to not have it. The secret is not in wanting, it is in assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. The ancient observer does not beg the universe for anything. It simply selects a timeline. It observes the reality where the desire is already a fact, and it rests in the profound peace of that knowing. When you truly embody the observer effect, manifestation becomes effortless. You do not try to attract things to you. You realize that you already contain all things within your infinite consciousness. You simply shift your frequency to match the reality you prefer, and you watch with calm certainty as the physical world rearranges itself to accommodate your command. This leads us to the ultimate paradox of reality creation, manifestation through total detachment. The young ego believes that if it lets go of its tight grip on a desire, the desire will run away. But the ancient soul understands the physics of energy. When you obsess over an outcome, you introduce resistance and friction into the quantum field. You create a chaotic wave pattern that delays the physical materialization. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you are so absolutely certain of the outcome that you no longer need to worry about how or when it will arrive. You place your order with the universe, and then you walk away, fully trusting the infinite intelligence of the field to handle the logistics. This level of detachment is only possible when you are firmly anchored in your ancient observer. Because the observer resides in the eternal present, it is already experiencing the fulfillment of the desire. By letting go of the desperate need for external validation, you neutralize the resistance in your energy field. The wave of probability collapses smoothly, rapidly, and perfectly, often delivering results that far exceed the limited imagination of your logical mind. Surrender the how, and the universe will astound you. One of the most profound abilities of your ancient consciousness is the power to heal the past through quantum observation. We are taught that the past is written in stone, completely unchangeable. But in the quantum field, time is fluid. The events of your past only hold power over your present reality because you continue to observe them through the lens of trauma, regret, or victimhood. Every time you remember a painful event with those low frequencies, you drag that dense energy into the present moment, reinfecting your timeline. But your ancient observer can travel back along the wave of time and alter the energetic structure of those memories. When you revisit a painful memory not as a victim, but as the eternal detached observer, you change its quantum signature. You extract the wisdom from the experience and dissolve the emotional charge. You forgive, not to excuse the action, but to cut the energetic cord that binds you to that lower timeline. By changing your observation of the past, you literally change its effect on your present and future. You rewrite your own history, freeing up massive amounts of quantum energy that can now be directed toward creating a beautiful, expansive reality. As you navigate this matrix from the perspective of the ancient observer, pay close attention to the seemingly random encounters that alter the course of your life. You meet someone on a train, you strike up a conversation in a coffee shop, and suddenly your entire trajectory shifts. The young mind dismisses these encounters as pure luck. But the ancient soul knows there is no such thing as random chance in a conscious universe. These are instances of profound quantum entanglement. Before you even entered this physical life, your consciousness made agreements with other ancient souls to meet at specific coordinates in space and time to trigger an awakening, to share a crucial piece of information, or to collapse a new shared timeline. The quantum field orchestrates these meetings with mathematical precision, guided by the magnetic pull of your energetic state. When you operate at a high frequency of love and awareness, you naturally magnetize these profound encounters into your daily experience. Honor the people who suddenly appear to challenge, uplift, or redirect you. They are your cosmic co-conspirators, fellow observers playing their perfect roles in the magnificent illusion we call reality. The ultimate evolution of the conscious creator is the profound shift from doing to being. Society is addicted to doing. We believe that hard physical labor, endless hustle, and forced action are the only ways to achieve success. But this is the slow, arduous path of the dense physical realm. Your ancient consciousness knows a much higher law. It knows that your state of being is infinitely more powerful than any physical action you could ever take. When you embody the energy of abundance, peace, and divine power, your very presence begins to alter the reality around you without lifting a single finger. You become a tuning fork, and the environment must raise its vibration to match yours. This does not mean you sit around doing nothing. It means that when you do take action, it is inspired action. It is effortless, flowing, and perfectly timed, guided by the deep intuition of your inner observer. 1 hour of inspired action taken from a state of aligned being, accomplishes more than 100 hours of desperate, fear-based hustle. Stop trying to force the river to flow. Become the water, align with your ancient essence, and watch as the universe effortlessly carries you to your desired destination. This is the grand awakening you have been waiting for. The heavy old feeling in your chest is no longer a mystery, nor is it a burden. It is the majestic signature of your eternal soul. You are waking up from the dream of powerlessness. You are realizing that this physical avatar, with its name and its history, is just a temporary spacesuit your consciousness is wearing for a brief cosmic second. The real you, the ancient, vast, infinite observer, is untouchable. It is the very force that breathes life into the stars and collapses the quantum wave into the hard reality of the earth. Do not shy away from this power. Step fully into the magnificent light of your true identity. Look at the world not as a prison, but as a blank canvas waiting for the masterful strokes of your focused attention. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are an ancient, infinite spirit commanding a human experience. Every thought, every emotion, and every focused observation is a magic spell shaping the fabric of the matrix. Own your power. Collapse the reality you deserve. You are the architect, and your masterpiece is waiting to be built. But what if I told you the ultimate truth goes even deeper? You are not just a person existing in reality. You are reality itself, observing itself from a localized point of view. The universe grew eyes to look at its own beauty, and it is looking through you right now. Today we have journeyed through the profound depths of the quantum field. You have remembered that your consciousness is an ancient observer, and that the physical world is nothing but a delayed reflection of your internal state. You have learned that your focused thoughts, backed by elevated emotions, are the very tools that collapse infinite probabilities into physical existence. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the sovereign creator of your timeline. If this transmission resonated with the ancient truth inside you, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help spread this awakening to other old souls. To anchor this quantum shift and signal the field that you are ready, I want you to write this exact phrase in the comments below. I am the observer creating my reality. Let this be your declaration to the universe. Now, I leave you with a question to ponder. What profound signs or synchronicities have you noticed in your life recently that confirm you are on the right path? Share your experiences, and until next time, keep observing the beautiful reality you are destined to create.